Thokozani, Siyabonga, Siyabonga here from Umsamo Institute, wishing you all a beautiful and blessed Friday. Since it is Friday, I'm going to give you my thoughts, observations, and findings from the clients I present to myself and those I present to Dr. Mkhize Eskolwe Sasemlambo. Today, I want us to have a conversation around a particular set of diseases that we are seeing are beginning to present more and more and more, or the patients rather, that are afflicted by these diseases are beginning to present more. And that is those afflicted by autoimmune diseases, right? And the reason I want to talk about that, I most notably in the front of my mind have a client who afflicted by ulcerative colitis, but by the time she got to us, her colon and rectum had been removed. And she and obviously now was using an external bag to defecate in. Right. And the more I learned, and fortunately enough, I did a little bit of genetics and molecular medicine in my undergrad days, and I asked myself the question now: why is it that the genotype of someone and the phenotype of someone, right, can vary so much? So genotype is the genetic roadmap, right? What could possibly be. Then the phenotype is the physical manifestation, what actually comes out, right? So now my question is, if it only takes one letter in your genetic makeup to affect the protein that comes out, and then that makes you ill, right? And they say, no, it's just a probability, or there's the likelihood of something happening, or they talk about the genetic variation, or they talk about the main word that I'm trying to drive home is probability, right? Why is it that even though in your makeup, right, you have a whole host of diseases which may or may not come out physically, okay, what is that thing that determines the likelihood or swings the odds in your favor of being healthy and that genetic mistake not taking place? And what is that thing that, or rather, what is the thing that swings the odds in your favor so that you are, or the odds against you that mistake does happen, right? And you do suffer from that autoimmune disease. But another question that I asked is that why is it some patients with ulcerative colitis or other autoimmune diseases go into remission, have no drug resistance, and they're fine? But you have other patients who have more, their disease progresses quicker, they have drug resistance, they struggle far more, right? But the third and final question, which is my main point of concern, is why is it happening to those that are so young? Why is it happening to those that are young? Under the age of, let's say, 45. Yeah, I understand youth is considered, but let's use 45 and under. Right? And at that point, that uncertainty or that probability or that likelihood or that confusion around the odds, whether they will swing in your favor or against you, is where African spirituality and healing can intervene. Right? The reason why African healing and Western medicine should be working together is because at that point, Western medicine cannot see, but African healing can see. But at the point of understanding how I move from my genotype onto my phenotype, right, and understanding the genetics, the physiology, and the molecular medicine, Western medicine can do that, right? Because Western medicine will say, here is the diagnosis, here are the drugs. What African healing will say is, we are going to ensure that spiritually the odds are in your favor so that you don't have the drug resistance and you can work into remission. So what I'm saying is African healing and medicine and Western medicine should be working together to support one another. The biggest lie ever sold was that African healing and Western medicine should be in competition, or are in competition rather. So if you are listening to this and you have a friend, a colleague, a family member that is afflicted by one of these set of diseases that are affected by probability, likelihood, or uncertainty, right? And they have gone to many a doctor, and they've gone to many geneticists, immunologists, and so on and so forth. I am here to tell you that we are not going to tell you to stop going to those doctors. In fact, we are going to encourage you to continue to see them because we also need them to heal you. But what we are also saying is that there is a part that may or may not need to be addressed spiritually. Two options for you. You can go straight to Dr. Mkhize by phoning 010-0075294-5 and booking an appointment with him. Or alternatively, you can come see me on an online conversation and we can talk about it by emailing bookings@umsamo.org.za. And the reason I'm saying I'm giving you the option of an online conversation first is because there are some of these elements which are tied to rituals which you can do as a family and take care of as a family. So I'm trying to tell you that we don't have all the answers to autoimmune diseases. We do not. And the reason for this is because we need numbers. We're a healing and research institute, and at the moment the numbers are still quite low. We're waiting before we can make a formal presentation or write-up or any kind of conversation that's conclusive on our findings. We need more numbers. So my conversation today the intention of my conversation is to begin the conversation and to begin the thought process and really, really ask yourself, what is the probability or likelihood of your disease, the one that you currently have right now, being as bad as it is? Thokoza, and thank you.